Actually, I was talking to a client, Natalie, earlier, and she brought this up. And she found some woman that was like a motivational speaker, probably more of what I don't like to use motivational, I like to use inspirational. Because motivation is, I can get you to do something you don't want to do. That's motivating. But inspiration is for you to do it based on the direction in which you want to go. So it's neither here or there. But this woman said, when something pops into your head, if you spend more than 5 seconds thinking about it, drop it. The reason being is 5 seconds is a contemplation. 6 seconds you're thinking. And once you're thinking, you're talking yourself out of it. Because if it was a true inspiration, you wouldn't even give yourself 5 seconds to contemplate. You just do it. You know? You're sitting on a beach and you look at the beautiful water. Do you think about it? You just jump in. Right? You might, gotta put sunblock on. Go and do it. But you don't. Because you're drawn to it. You're inspired to do it. When you find yourself thinking, that's when you ask yourself, why am I thinking? The device, the brain, is set up to respond, not think. So the left side of the brain records everything that comes into our life since when you were in the womb till now. When the right side of the brain is what we call the artistic side, it's just a flow of energy. When they're synced up, whatever I need to know, my left brain will pluck. Just like Google, right? I only ask Google questions in which I need to know now. Unless I'm bored and start asking Google, why is the grass green? And it'll answer. But that's a waste of time in a sense. It doesn't get you anywhere. So when we're actually present, the left brain fires up and responds with information due to the right brain actually pulling in energy, or what we call flow. So the right brain is working when we know we can get in the direction, and if I'm running through the woods and looking straight ahead, that would be how the flow through the right brain's coming. And the left brain says is a branch, duck. So that's how, we don't think, we respond. Anyone that knows that's a performer, whether they're a musician, an athlete, or whatever, the one thing you don't do is think. Do you think when you're playing harmonica? Do you think when you're playing guitar? You respond. And how do you respond? Because the left brain knows how to respond. And then to create a new song, the right brain flows. That's it. Once you start thinking, you're dead in the water. And thinking is an exhausted point, so we don't think. Even people like Einstein, every time he came up with his theories, like when he came up with this special relativity, he was close to, he knew it in his mind. He knew this at the age of 16. But how do I explain it to the world? And at the age of 26, 10 years later, he was working in the patent office. And he was working tireless on this. And then one day he felt frustration, so he just got up and started playing the violin. And he probably got 2 chords in. And it came to him because he took his mind off of it. And it came to him. But when he was thinking, he stepped away from where the answer was. But when he played the violin, it came to him. It was there all along. It's there. Now we like to produce processes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's why we're here, because a process is a form of a story in a linear fashion. Think about everything around us, everything from a song to a play to a movie to a TV show. It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's all formulated in stories. So we're here to create stories. So processes are the creation, the format of stories. So you don't overlook a process. You just want a process that's going to work for you. And everyone has, if you're watching TV and a process to work out comes onto you and it aligns with you, do it. Now, when you go to the gym and start doing it, it's like, oh, it says to do this, but I'd rather do this. Well, then modify it. Because if you try to do it exactly the way the other person did it, you're going to quit in a week. So learn that process might have got you into the gym, and then your internal being will actually say, no, that's not why we're here. I just had to get you here. And then this is how we're going to do it. There's a multitudes of ways of doing it. Don't read into it too much. When you're present, Your intuition, which is your internal guidance system, works supreme. It already knows what it is you need to do to get to where you want to go, just like a GPS does. We put an address in, and guess what we don't do? We don't second guess it. We don't even think about it. Make a right in 500 feet. Make the right. Make the left. Meanwhile, you're carrying on a conversation, still listening to music. But why do you think we need to think? We created damn GPS in the first place. We are more powerful than GPS. But yet we trust that more than our own internal system. And the reason being is because we're thinking. But if I were to drive in my car with my GPS on and blast Metallica, I'm going to get lost. Because I ain't going to hear what the British woman says. Because Metallica will overhear it. So blasting music is equivalent to thinking, to the internal guidance system. So you don't. If you could put the music on a moderate thing, and now it's so good that I could blast the music and it will shut the music down and this voice will come over. And that's equivalent to more human beings on this planet waking up. So the information comes to us, comes louder than the distraction when you wake up, which is beautiful. It makes it easier. It really is. The information coming through is louder than the distraction. But in the beginning with GPSs, my stereo didn't turn down, and I heard it. I'm like, did you hear that? No, it was something else. And then like you turn the music down, it's like, make a U-turn, recalculate. It's like, oh shit, we're like 5 miles out of, well, it was a good song, so it was worth it. So don't beat yourself up either, because sometimes, I remember as a kid driving home and a song came on, and I had to pass my exit because I can't get on the side street and listen to that song. I gotta be on the parkway. So you don't mind. It's like, okay, it's cool. And then the song's over. It's like, oh shit. It was a long Zeppelin song, my God. And next thing you know, you're like across town. But it was worth it. I knew that was going to happen. But sometimes you don't know what's going to happen. You get upset. You get upset because you got distracted. But you were in this beautiful moment. So why are you getting upset? Just recalculate and go back. So when we learn to self-forgive, we actually stay present. And when we're thinking, when we have a belief that isn't working for us in direction, who cares? And in that attitude of who cares, the paradox is you actually turn the boat around and everything's moving in that direction, and it works beautifully. All right? But we aren't to be on all the time, because I say distraction is the art of discovery. So we are here to discover. We are here to get in and out of the flow and distraction. But the second you realize you passed the exit, don't get upset. Just look for the next exit and turn around. Because you will. No one's ever driven as far as a time to where they didn't realize they're not in where they're supposed to be. Everyone eventually realizes, where the hell am I? We all do. So some go a lot further than others. But who cares? But we think we're supposed to be on all the time. And when you're on all the time, you're never on. It's too much pressure.